ruin has come to our family. You remember our venerable house? Opulent and imperial, gazing proudly from its stoic perch above the moor. I lived all my years in that ancient, rumor-shadowed manor, fattened by decadence and luxury. And yet I began to tire of conventional extravagance. Singular, unsettling tales suggested the mansion itself was a gateway to some fabulous and unnameable power. With relic and ritual, I bent every effort towards the excavation and recovery of those long-buried secrets, exhausting what remained of our family fortune on swarthy workmen and sturdy shovels. At last, in the salt-soaked crags beneath the lowest foundations, we unearthed that damnable portal of antediluvian evil. Our every step unsettled the ancient earth. But we were in a realm of death and madness. In the end, I alone fled laughing and wailing through those blackened arcades of antiquity, until consciousness failed me. You remember our venerable house, opulent and imperial. It is a festering abomination. I beg you, return home, claim your birthright, and deliver our family from the ravenous, clutching shadows of the darkest dungeon.
Darkest Dungeon is about making the most of a bad situation. Quests will fail, or must be abandoned. Heroes will die, and when they die, they stay dead. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Darkest Dungeon. I haven't played this on the channel in quite some time. Back when I did my purge, I did kind of regret removing these videos. But this is a game very near and dear to my heart, and I look forward to delving into it once again. After all, we are back in the darkest of places, Halloween as winter comes. So, it felt appropriate to start doing something appropriately. Oh wow. We'll delete this old estate. We'll start fresh. I figure that's the best way. We will include all the DLCs, the districts, the flagellant, the shieldbreaker, the musketeer, the color of madness, the Crimson Court. I figure why not? Let's go for it all. Is this your first estate? The Crimson Court increases the complexity and pressure for the campaign and is recommended for experienced players. We'll go for it. Radiant campaigns, while still challenging, are adjusted to be faster and more forgiving than normal, suggested for your first Darkest Dungeon experience. Normal campaigns are the original settings for the game. While there is no time limit to win, the campaign will be longer and more challenging than Radiant mode. And the Blood Moon. Blood Moon campaigns are not for the faint of heart. Expect no quarter, no forgiveness. You must conquer the evil within a time limit and hero death limit. Blood Moon is Stygian plus Crimson Court. Nah. We'll just stick with the normal. Radiant is nice and would be quicker to show you everything, but I think normal mode is fine. Is this the Darkest Dungeon? No, we'll call this the Mirror. This is because there is nothing more painful and cruel than facing the mirror of one's own self. Regardless, let's begin and enter into the darkest dungeon.
You will arrive along the old road. It winds with a troubling, serpent-like suggestion through the corrupted countryside, leading only, I fear, to ever more tenebrous places.
Yes.
There is a sickness in the ancient pitted cobbles of the old road, and on its writhing path you will face viciousness, violence, and perhaps other damnably transcendent terrors. So steel yourself, and remember there can be no bravery without madness. The old road will take you to hell, but in that gaping abyss, we will find our redemption.
All right. So, with the stagecoach destroyed and the caretaker gone, you will have to make the journey to the hamlet on foot. Well, it's a great way to start. The carriage is busted and we're still a long walk from home. So, you are currently in a... Basically, the way Darkest Dungeon works is you have a room, and in it you can choose...
Brigands have run up these lanes. Keep to the side path.
Yep.
The hamlet is just ahead.
You move forward and back with the left stick. You're able to change and move various options.
Dispatch this thug in brutal fashion.
Oh,
that all
they got
may
a surprise
hear
on
your
us.
arrival.
Now, with Darkest Dungeon, you'll need to understand several numbers. This is an RPG, and it's your ability to understand your tricks and abilities that are what's going to allow you to survive. Read these attacks, know what they do, because it's key to every survival. For example, so to break down like the one attack we can use right now with Dismas, our highwayman. That's his name and that is his class. He has 4 attacks and a move option. In addition, you have various stats on the left and right. We'll get into those as we go. Okay. Let's see. So then, note the pips at the top of the Open Vein 1 attack. The left pips are the positions that you can use this technique from. The red pips are where you can hit using that specific technique. From there, then you start to depict what kind of the more specifics about this particular attack. So, melee. It is a melee attack, so he goes in to hit. That will be relevant with certain enemies and irrelevant for others. ACC base is accuracy base. It's the basic chance for this attack to hit, which is 95 out of 100. So he has a 95% chance to hit. However, it also has a damage modification of minus 15%. So effectively, it will do 15% less damage than his potential max. But it also has another effect of bleed for 100% base chance to cause it, minus whatever the resistance the enemy may have. So it gives 2 points of damage for 3 rounds. Is what the bleed will do if it activates. In addition, it has a chance to debuff the target, making they lose 20% of their bleed resistance. There's a 100% base chance of it happening, and they get -1 speed. Again, 100% chance of the base chance. Regardless, that's just the basic chances of this attack. You'll note that the other three attacks are all grayed out. This is because we're in the first position, and all these other attacks require us being further away, or in this case, because there is only one enemy in the first row, and tracking shot can't be used against the first row. So, from there, we just use Open Vein on the Brigand. Now, for all those percentages we saw, take a look to the right. It describes the Brigand Cutthroat. His HP of 12. He's human. His protection is how much physical damage he resists, so he'll resist 15%. Has a 2 dodge, so he basically has a 10% chance to dodge. So, and then speed of 3 is how fast and how fast he is and how likely he is to act earlier in the turn order. Dismas's speed is of course 7, so he obviously rolled a lot higher. In addition, you'll see that it gives you the chance. Hero chance to hit, 93%. Crit chance, 5% chance to crit, will do 4 to 8 damage. Now, the debuff chance, we had 100% and a chance plus the 100% chance with the bleed. Now, what that should tell you is then you subtract the bleed and debuff resist he has. So he hit for 6, and he got both. So, he is now both bled and debuffed. Then we have Reynald, our Crusader. Has a melee strike at an accuracy base of 85, but 15% extra damage on Holy. He also has Zealous Accusation, which is a ranged attack, so he doesn't have to go in, with an accuracy base of 85%, but a crit damage and crit mod of -4, and 40% damage and 4%, so he very less chance to crit, but it can hit both the front 2 slots. But there's only one target, so that's not as necessary. We also have Stunning Blow, with an accuracy base of 90, so it's more accurate than the other 2 attacks, but it does only half damage. But it also has a decent stun-based chance to stun. He also has Bulwark of Faith, which gives us more light, marks himself and gives him extra protection, but basically makes him a big target for enemies. So that's good if you want to protect someone softer than him. As it stands, we're best off just using Smite. Gives us an 83% chance, which is the 85% accuracy minus the 2 dodge he hits.
Decimated.
And we got the crit. Alright.
These nightmarish creatures can be felled.
And we got some gold.
Beaten.
His pocket change, but at least it's something. There are curios, interactive objects you come across. So like here, we can choose who interacts with it. So let's say Dismas seems the more likely to investigate. And there was some more
Leave
gold.
nothing unchecked. There is much to be found in forgotten places.
By the way, we'll switch these two back to their original positions so that Reynald is in the front. After all, he's the Crusader in the heavier armor.
An ambush. Send these vermin a message. The rightful owner has returned, and their kind is no longer welcome.
Alright. One thing to note. There. If we can see info. There. Dodge. So, Reynald got minus 2 dodge for 3 rounds. So he'll be easier to hit slightly. But we also have Grape Shot Blast that allows us to hit all of our targets. Not particularly hard, but it makes us more likely to crit.
Grievous injury.
Oof.
Palpable fear.
Alright. So from there, Nope, no crit, but we had a better chance to. Go for the pistol shot? Yeah, might as well. We have a decent chance to kill, because it does 5 to 9 damage. But he got the dodge off. Alright. Yep. Best thing we can do with Reynald is just try to work through.
Unnerved,
All these crits. Got it.
Continue the onslaught.
The musketman's gone.
Destroy them all.
When most monsters die, they leave corpses. Corpses act as temporary obstacles and will eventually go away on their own. You can attack corpses to destroy them faster, but often a better approach is to use ranged skills, push-pull skills, and even a corpse-clearing special skills that some heroes possess. Monsters killed with bleed, blight, or crits leave no corpses at all. So, that's a hint that using status effects can be quite efficient. Nope. Rain of Whips. But inflicts, doesn't do much damage, but does inflict bleed. And he resisted the bleed on him. And we're in kind of rough position. Poor Reynald.
Perched at the very precipice of oblivion.
When a hero is reduced to 0 HP, they are at death's door. While in this state, they will suffer stat penalties, plus any further damage has a chance to kill them. Heal them to get off death's door. Fortunately, we don't have anyone to heal, so their best bet is to try and get rid of the brigand as quickly as possible. Got him.
Monstrous size has no intrinsic merit, unless inordinate exsanguination be considered a virtue.
After you've completed requirements of a quest, you have the right to return to town at any time. Just press the touchpad button right, and you don't need to exit the room out of the dungeon to exit. We'll remain for a moment, just to pick up this treasure. Oh, it was only trapped. Oh well. Then from there, let's get out of here. Things sure didn't go great. And they both leveled up, both Reynald and Dismas. Oh, they both got 2 negative traits. So, Nervous Bleeder, so Dismas is now loses accuracy if he's being bled. And Reynald is now has weaker resistance against blight and bleed. Not good on either account.
Welcome home, such as it is. This squalid hamlet, these corrupted lands, they are yours now.
Indeed.
And you are bound to them.
Yep. So, we now have several places we can inspect. We have some trinkets. Oh.
A mecca of madness and morbidity.
I didn't mean to go there yet.
Begins.
There it is, L2. Alright, so our Reckless Charm gives us more accuracy but less dodge. A Stone of Endurance gives us additional death blow resist. And the Stone of Patience, less stress and more virtue chance. None of these are particularly noteworthy on their own, but they can make some cumulative effects. Now, for what our hamlet has left. We don't have an abbey yet, we'll have to complete more quests. Same with the sanitarium. We do have a graveyard, where
Most will end up here, covered in the poisoned earth, awaiting merciful oblivion.
there is a guild, but not at this time, nor a blacksmith. A nomad wagon.
Trinkets and charms, gathered from all the forgotten corners of the earth.
So, if we had the money, we could purchase lucky dice for the jester, or vengeful greaves for the Arbalest. We also have the Nomad Wagon if we had the trinkets to do so. And the Jeweler, which trades for a specific resource we'll get later. And there are some uses to that. But there's also the Ancestors' Memoirs.
In time, you will know the tragic extent of my failings.
Yep. And to unlock their story, we will need to face the bosses. Yep. The Farmstead, the Miller, the Sleeper, and in the Darkest Dungeon, the first, the second, the third assaults. Final stage of your campaign. Yep, there is much to see, my friends. And of course,
women and men, soldiers and outlaws, fools and corpses. All will find their way to us now that the road is clear.
Now that we've opened it,
what
have
better
more.
laboratory than the blood-soaked battlefield?
Alright. Now, with the trinkets we have, we should seek to improve the number of heroes and the number of heroes we get per round.
Great heroes can be found even here, in the mud and rain.
And we'll have up to 13 heroes we can have total. So, beyond that... Alright. So, with everyone set, all we can do is embark. And there are two quests. There is the Darkest Dungeon itself. It's open to you from the beginning. Good luck getting through anything. It is a level 6. Kill one shuffling horror. The creature power waxes terrible. Recover the protective relics from the long-abandoned base camp, but beware the shuffling horror. Or a short level 1 dungeon where we can expect to be rewarded should we succeed with gold, crests, and a stun charm. A common gives you extra stun resist, but less dodge. Most trinkets will have a mixed effect like that. And... alright. Now the last thing to do is equip these charms, so... So, she has a so our Vestal is a perfectionist. Is a natural. Extra HP and healing when wearing no trinkets, so it might be best not to give her any. And extra stun resist, but she's also a perfectionist. So she gets stressed every time she misses. Thankfully, that doesn't seem to be too much of an issue. Oh, wow. Yeah, Reynald is God-fearing, prone to stealing items, and but also a one warrior of light, so as long as we keep it bright, he's good. Resist and extra speed, but he's a known cheat, and nervous. And our doctor actually has additional crit on range skills, but if the torch gets too low, they can't see worth a damn. Makes sense. So we'll give them additional accuracy since they have a crit chance. We'll give less stress to the... and... yeah, extra death blow resist in case you get into a bad situation. Okay. Here we go, folks. For the first scouting...
the cost of preparedness, measured now in gold, later in blood.
Indeed. We'll do 12. Let's see. And I believe... how many? Yeah, torches. I'll do 1 stack. That's a little much, but we should be fine. Note, we always get a holy water because Reynald is with us. And an antitoxin because we have... what's her name? What the, Plague Doctor. In addition... I'll do 2 shovels and 2 keys, just in case. Alright. Oh. So... Okay, 2 keys, 2 shovels. That's probably overkill, but... well, it never hurts to be aware for the first time. Let's go. Alright, this layout isn't too against us. Let's go. Now, most of Darkest Dungeon will take place in the places between rooms. An additional torch. We'll take it with us. And I forgot to bring torches. Well, this'll be fun. Alright, in our first room we have skeletons. Pretty basic enemy. As you might expect, though, they have a 200% bleed debuff, resist. So, no, you're not bleeding skeletons. Huh, we're not bleeding skeletons. However, since then, they also don't have a massive amount of HP at 8 apiece. So, they can be pretty quickly dealt with. Note that our Plague Doctor has a lot of stats more geared towards dealing light damage.
Precision and power.
Nice. And Divine Judgment. It heals themselves and does some damage. 5 damage, so they're pretty much done. So yeah, we'll do... nope, missed. At 85% coming back to bite us. Note that these are unholy, so obviously Smite gives additional damage. So where our normal is 7 to 14.
Another one falls.
Not much early on, but it doesn't take much.
Foolish horrors. Brought low and driven into the mud.
Now, one other thing to note about this game. Who you're selected at the time is the person undertaking the object you interact with. So... and that can matter because certain characters are known to steal from you. They'll take something and pretend like they didn't get anything. So, when it comes to items, you have 3 options. You can ignore them, you can investigate them normally, or you can use an item if there's something special. Now, this is an unlocked strongbox, but if it was locked, I could use maybe one of our keys or a shovel to try and break it open. And the options will get more and more obscure as the game goes on. I'll put it that way. Various areas, it's hard to almost impossible
Even the
to
cold
know.
stone seems bent on preventing passage.
But things like this, where a jumble of stones and debris block the path. block the path. Now, with your bare hands, you could, but A, that would stress out your party and lower the amount of light because you've been spending time clearing this manually. Thankfully, with just a shovel, it's easily and quickly cleared, and we can continue on. Oh, the light is fading. Keep the torch. The current torch level greatly affects mechanics in the game. The darker it gets, the harder things get, but the better the rewards. Select a torch in the inventory and press triangle button to consume it to boost the light back up. Alright. So now we also have, in addition to the skeletons, a bone soldier versus the rabble. Note that he has 2 additional HP, but he also has a 15% physical resist towards all damage. In addition, in the back is a human cultist, Acolyte. Note that they have 13 18 dodge and 7 speed, so they're fast and hard to hit compared to the skeletons. But we'll keep going. Luckily though, they're all still lined up. Perfect position to be grape shot. Yep. And that's one of the big things the cultist tends to do, is work up your stress. Let's see, you have 3, so you should be dead. See ya.
Continue the onslaught.
Nice. Got the crit?
Destroy them all.
Indeed. And that's gone. So all that's left is the cultist.
Their formation is broken. Maintain the offensive.
We got some gold and some jewels. Jewels being another source of gold, just stacked differently. Ah, we got a scout. So we know which way has what. There is a relic in one room and a treasure in the other. We can also see that there are 2 traps in either direction. Just because the game gives you a choice doesn't mean you'll always get an option. So, as things stand, let's use that torch. And a pack. Another key and some more food. We're doing pretty good. Alright. In this treasure room. Unsurprisingly, the treasure is guarded. Again, we now have an access to a cultist brawler who has no dodge, is still human, but has a speed of 5, so he's pretty quick to attack. In addition, the Bone Soldier, yeah, got some nice good damage on the start. Let's see. Yep. Trying to get rid of the soldier quickly. Yeah. Just because, yeah. Now the cultist is gonna keep trying to break our... Oof. That crits, those crits. By the way, if you're wondering why, in the dark, you get more stress, monsters get more accuracy and damage. Their crits, they have more chance to crit, and there's more chances of the heroes being surprised. However, we do get additional loot. Our chance to crit continues to rise as well, and there's a little more chance of the monsters being surprised, but it still can work against you. So...
Confidence surges as the enemy crumbles.
Nice. And... yeah, she hit him. Nope. Renaud broke.
Frustration and fury. More destructive than 100.
When your heroes can't take the stress anymore, they become afflicted. This manifests in different behaviors and stat changes. Afflictions last until you send them to treatment in town, unless you can reduce their stress to 0 during the quest. So yeah, there are certain abilities that will allow you to reduce stress. Some will allow you to 0 it, and that's how you counter a full bar. However, there's something more. The stress bar is actually 2 bars. You have the first time you build up to 100 stress, you break. If you survive long enough to stress out a second round, you can be instantly killed or just put at 1 HP, making you extraordinarily vulnerable to enemies.
As the fiend falls,
alright.
Faint hope blossoms.
So we just keep applying what we can. And... try and heal. And try and finish him off. Nope. As I say,
the weapon that
the thing to
comes on
remember is
its own.
cultists are human. So, they're a little harder to hit. An heirloom chest, a chest with your family's sigil. Now we could investigate it normally, but we've gotten quite a few keys, so let's try it. The key unlocks a hidden compartment where we get an additional torch and some more gold. Alright. Oh. Now, one of the other things you'll find in the darkest dungeon are traps. Scouted traps will be visible on the ground as you approach them. Select a hero and press the X button while near the trap to disarm it. When heroes are within range of a scouted trap, the trap icon will show up in their status bars. Some heroes are better than others at disarming traps. So if you're curious, it'll tell you 45% on the Renauld, 90% on Dismas, Mortagne is 60 and 50-50 on the Vestal. So it's clear it should be Dismas. In addition, if they do succeed, they get a slight stress relief. Note that red text, that usually means that's the abusive text, which means Renauld is basically being harsh towards others, and can effectively trigger and hit the stress bars of everyone else in the party.
The darkness holds much worse than mere trickery and boogeymen.
Oh, nothing here.
Packs laden with loot are often low on supplies.
Indeed. Just gonna eat a bit to get some HP back. After all, that's what food's for. Alright. Pushing onwards. And you want food for those kind of triggers where everyone gets hungry and it's just like, we need to eat. Alright. So, for this quest specifically, if you look in the top left as a scout, we just need to investigate 90% of rooms. So, once we enter this room, we can leave. There's another chest, and a full party. Yeah, a full party is typically 4 enemies. And there you can see Renauld abusing everyone else, and basically upsetting everyone else. Now, knowing each enemy's role is going to be critical on knowing who to strike first. Since the Bone Courtier is fast and hard to hit, he's also the stress attacker, and you might notice you get far more life out of your HP bar than you do your stress. At 15 a shot, that can be quite devastating. So he becomes your ranged damage dealer's first target, typically. Of course, that can be flipped on you as well. And we managed to stun the crossbowman for next round.
Press this advantage.
Alright, so we got rid of the courtier with that. Ow. Hurt, but it's not the worst thing. Yeah, as you can see, the stress can rack up quick. Alright. Alright, so Renauld got stunned. So, we will... I can't bleed him, but I can at least do some damage. So let's go after the soldier next. No damage, but he did get blighted. So we'll start working on the crossbowman. Alright. Dead weight. And resisted. Oh, Dismas hanging in there.
A death by inches.
Nice. Alright. We will heal the Plague Doctor.
Is a rarity in the fever pitch of battle.
Honestly, I want Dismas to just move back one. Alright. Now, with enemies with high protection, like the Bone Defender here, relying on status effects can be immensely useful. You'll note, look at his resists down in the bottom right-hand corner. Stun, he 25% resist. Blight is only a 10% resist versus the 200% on bleed and 15% on debuffs. So obviously, we want to keep working that Blight up, because that will start eventually building through. And shooting again at the one in the back. Alright. Now, last thing stand. Got him. Defender's down. Alright. Not the worst damage. Dismas getting some nice damage in, and...
A powerful blow.
And got the toxin, so he's dead. Alright. See if you get the kill.
A decisive pummeling.
Nice. And we've made it.
These nightmarish creatures can be felled. They can be beaten.
Now, just because you're done with your quest doesn't mean you have to leave. If you found a particular treasure or something you want to investigate, like here, absolutely.
A handsome
more.
reward for a task well performed.
Indeed. Because we could go check that last room. I mean, we're stressed, but... Oh, well, let's push our luck. You don't get anything too particular for completing everything, I don't believe. I believe you get another experience point, which can be nice on its own. But effectively, we're just moving forward. We're retracing our steps, and we'll hit up this last room. Alright, Dismas, because there will be a trap here. Nice. Alright.
Terrors may indeed stalk these shadows, but yonder, a glint of gold.
Indeed. The final room. They're surprised. We got the jump on them. So, yeah, go ahead and heal. Yeah, we'll just start getting rid of the bone soldiers. And there's 3 of them, so Grape Shot Blast just becomes immensely useful.
Back to
And got one on the got him in one blow. Hang in there. Alright. So the Bone Soldier is pretty much dead. So it's just really... And that's one of the things with the Vestal, is you have to balance whether it's more important to save someone's life, to go after someone's life, or go for the additional toxin. Alright.
Gently. This is how a life is taken.
Alright. Heal them up. Cool. And they're thoroughly dead. Because...
The slow death. Unforeseen. Unforgiving.
Alright. So, Quickening Satchel for Grave Robbers. Debuff Stone. Extra debuff chance. Nice. You lose a little speed, but that can be worthwhile. Because some debuffs can make enemies all the more manageable. An ornate fountain of holy purport. Well, what happens if we throw holy water on it? We get fully healed and stress relieved. Well, probably could have used that for Reynald, but doesn't really matter. We've done every room. There's the one hallway, but I think we're pretty good, so we'll leave. So picked up a bunch of heirlooms, which are used as upgrades. Good amount of gold. And that's before we consider the reward for this mission. So, let's see. Lurker. Additional damage if torches below 26. So, they're slower and they are a bad gambler.
Once,
All right.
our estate was the envy of this land.
The tavern and abbey are unlocked. Now,
The cobwebs have been dusted, the pews set straight. The abbey calls to the faithful.
and Reynald will only pray for stress relief. So, we'll be locking him in. Let's see. The only other person is Pennant, our Vestal, who could probably use. Alright. Cloister. Peace through meditation. Note, these do cost you money, but for the stress relief, it can be worth it. Then Taverns does the same thing,
Kegs,
except
cards, and curtained rooms promise solace to the weary and broken alike.
yep. Drink your cares away, thrill of winning at gambling, and the brothel pleasures of the flesh. You'll notice there's someone's occupying the brothel at the moment. It's the caretaker. He's usually occupying one space or another during the week, so you can't always do the same thing. But in the meantime, we have new people. So we have another Vestal, another Highwayman, and a Grave Robber. Well, we can have up to 13.
A sister of battle, pious and unrelenting.
A Grave Robber.
To those with a keen eye, gold gleams like a dagger's point.
Yep. So we want to improve and get
More
more.
arrive, foolishly seeking fortune and glory in this domain of the damned.
Indeed. So, we have enough to embark once again. And there's nothing else keeping us here. By the way, as far as... There we go. You can unequip all the trinkets on the heroes. And... Yep. So our new ones have an unquiet mind and the yips. The yips is just -5 accuracy, which is rough. And then may not meditate while in town. Versus Nesdia is a Twilight Dream. Ignores stealth. Wow. So she can just hit with ignoring stealth. That's awesome. Stress versus beasts, so beasts give her more stress. And will only flagellate, which is whipping oneself for relief. Okay. Alright, folks. This is not going to be as nice as of a party going in. We don't have any major tanks. But let's get moving. The next missions. The comet's impact was felt here in the hamlet. The great impact toppled gravestones and kicked up a cloud of dust that covered the entire region. When it finally settled, an eerie miasma was seen to spread from the mill. It's distorted the rules of time and space far beyond imagining. Venture to the miller's farm to see what's been done. We'll deal with that eventually, but for now, just know that this is one of the DLC areas, and we want to be a bit stronger. So for now, we do have 4 missions we can attempt with different rewards. So let's see what they are and go with that. All of them short or medium. Sturdy boots for the musketeer. Archer's ring, plus 5 range accuracy on range skills, minus 1 speed. That's pretty good. Blight amulets, blight skill chance, and blight resist, and less bleed resist though. And medics for arbalist only. So yeah, between the 2 of them, we'll go with the archer's ring. So okay. So then from there, the last thing we want to do is start assigning trinkets. The reckless, yeah, that'll offset the yips. Let's see. Nesdin. Okay, less stress. And well, this can only go to the grave robber, so giving her additional speed. Extra stun resist, so less chance of her being stunned when we need her to. Additional debuff resist, and yeah, we'll throw our other frontliner, the death blow resist, and we'll go. So, alright. So I'm gonna do 12 food just because. In truth, 2 keys. Yeah, it's 8, so yeah, we'll do 8 torches. 6. Okay, we'll do 6 torches. Here we go. And into the madness once more.
The fiends must be driven back. And what better place to begin than the seat of our noble line?
Now, we started with a nice... Okay. We started with a nice scout, which tells us something useful. In the skirmish type of mission, you need to complete all room battles. That's to note because we know now that the southern room and the southern and eastern rooms both don't have fights. So we can just head east easily. Alright. Stack of literary treasures. Let's the one who would the plague doctor. Okay, things just got a little darker because we wasted time reading it. Alright. So, into this next room, and we find... Oh, we even got another scout. And... Okay, so we have to hit every room so far. Yeah. Alright, folks. So, we're just going to... make things a little brighter. And just some extra gold. Alright. Okay. Nothing too horrendous here. Ah! Now. The Gravekeeper has quite a few number of tricks. For one here, Toxin Trickery cures Blight and Bleed for themselves, as well as make them faster and have more dodge. But you can only use it once per fight. But in the meantime, we just take a pickaxe to the face, because that also has armor piercing, which means it ignores protection,
Begone, fiend!
allowing her to do that. In addition, alright, well, just shoot her. Alright, and start blighting the brawler. Yep. And a good chance to stun. Nice. It also gives us light. Nice. Alright. And yeah. Just keep trying to get through him. We'll actually go with tracking shot. Giving us a buff. Basically making sure our shots hit.
The weapon that cuts on its own.
And dodge means she doesn't get the toxin. And stunned again. Pick to the face. Nice.
Continually
And we're
onslaught.
good.
Destroy them all.
Good work, everybody. Alright, but that was just an interim fight. This is the actual room battle we need. Okay, once again, the Courtier is our top target. Alright. Alright, so she'll shadow stealth, which means she fades away and starts vanishing. Dismas is a little stressed. Okay, a lot stressed. Alright. Nice. Alright. Let's finish you
Precision
off.
and power.
Yeah.
The slow
And down
death,
he goes.
unforeseen, unforgiving.
Flashing daggers.
Confidence
Allows you to hit
surges
both.
as the enemy crumbles.
Nice. Nothing really but making him bleed out. And heal everyone.
The blood pumps. The limbs obey.
Yep. But we'll make do. Sweet. And finish him
Their
off.
formation is broken. Maintain
There we go.
Defensive.
So we need to go south. Dull and uninteresting. Unfortunate. Alright. More heirlooms.
If only
Yes.
treasure could staunch the flow of otherworldly corruption.
Nope. It only made it worse. Okay. So from here, we can do flashing daggers again. Get rid of most of that middle section.
A devastating blow.
Indeed. Yep. Sucks, but it's not the worst thing.
As the fiend falls, a faint hope blossoms.
Yeah, just heal the whole party. Doesn't seem like much, but that 3 HP might do the difference later on. Those two are still in the middle, so...
executed with impunity.
Now what? Being shot again for his trouble? Jeez. Alright. Yeah. Let's try and getting rid of the corpses
ground
as quickly
quakes.
as possible. See if we can't stun him. Nice, both corpses are gone. Aw. We're getting there. Alright. Come on. Alright. Alright. Here we go. Let's just pick to the face.
Press this advantage. Give them no quarter.
And none was given.
As victories mount, so too will resistance.
Indeed. Though, I think I'm going to call it here for tonight. I'm just getting pretty tired, and I have to get up early tomorrow, so I want to thank you all for joining me for the start of Darkest Dungeon, and I look forward to delving even deeper with all of you. Thank you all, and I'll see you next time on this, or maybe something else. Bye for now, folks. Bye for now.